Well, hormones play a critical role in aging. And when asked how do they affect the aging process, it seems quite simple. As our hormones decline, as we age, we begin seeing changes that we don't like, loss of muscle mass, increases in body fat, more aches and pains, more generalized inflammation. It can be subtle, and it just seems that it develops gradually over time, and then one day we wake up and just say, what happened? So, testosterone for men and women is extremely important in helping decrease inflammation, helping maintain muscle mass and good muscle metabolism. As that changes over time, we see changes in glucose metabolism. There aren't many adult onset 20-year-olds, we're in our 40s, 50s, and beyond. And as we see increases in body fat, from less effective muscle metabolism, less effective lipid metabolism, changes in our cholesterol levels. And so there are a number of things that affect us in a very negative way as we chalk it up to aging, which is really related to hormone decline. And so when we can intercept that process and begin replenishing testosterone for men and women, human growth hormone, particularly, which I call the icing on the cake, not only does it help with inflammation, body composition, muscle mass, body fat, but it helps maintain collagen formation. So fine lines and wrinkles and things that we don't like to see when we look in the mirror are very much affected by all of those hormones. And then obviously for women, natural bioidentical estradiol replacement is extremely important as well. So I like to look at the big picture as we look at all the hormones, and then sit down with men and or women and many couples together and go through what those effects are, and then make an effective plan to help restore that balance and fight the effects of aging. There are a number of symptoms that develop as we age and as we begin having hormonal decline. And energy is number one, energy, mood, body composition, decreases in muscle mass, even bone density decreases. I have a large number of female patients, and I don't have one that has osteoporosis because they've been on testosterone and estradiol replacement for years, and they can still continue to build bone mass as they age. And so instead of seeing it decline, we see it restored. Well, diet and nutrition do have an impact on hormone health. Just by changing your diet and eating a plant-based diet or a Mediterranean style diet, that will not change your hormones effectively. But when we have diets that are very rich in fats and in sugar, in simple carbohydrates, it increases inflammation, and inflammation is kind of an enemy of our hormone levels. And so it does make a difference when we have a healthy, balanced diet, rich in antioxidants, low in simple carbohydrates and sugar, and then toxins, alcohol, drugs affect all of our hormones in a very negative way. Well, I think we can't leave out physical activity. Just as we've talked before about the effect of the green zones around the planet, those people don't go to the gym every day. They're just active. They're working in their gardens. They're hiking up and down the hillside in Sardinia. They're just active, enrolled, and active with their community, with their families, and they stay physically fit just from limiting, saturated fats, from eating plant-based diets as well, a lot of fish, and just allowing themselves to flourish really in their natural environment. And, that may be hard for us this day and age, but it's not impossible. And so we just have to strive to do our best and create our own little blue zone, if you will. So it's fun to watch, and there's many aspects of changing our behaviors that affect us positively. Well, I think that it's very important for anyone that feels like something's just off to see a specialist, to get lab work done, to evaluate where you're at. Why wait until you're miserable to do something about it? And so I see men and women in their 30s and 40s long before we would expect to have serious health issues from aging. And so, I just saw someone today who's in his late 40s, and he showed me a lab he had done. His testosterone was 257. I'm like, well, what are you doing about it? He's like, well, nothing. I don't know what to do. I'm like, well, okay, we need to have a conversation, because it's very easy to get involved early on to make small changes. Because of his age, I wouldn't give him testosterone. I would start with compounds that stimulate testosterone production, like M-clomiphene or clomiphene, human chorionic gonadotropin, things that are very easy to self-administer to measure the response then. And if a young man in his 40s or 50s, I think it would be a crime to give him testosterone first. And so we do several things to help increase those levels and help him get back his vitality. A young guy who's successful with adolescent kids, he wants to have fun. He doesn't want to go home and lay on the couch because he has aches and pains and miserable. So, it's never too early to look into potential interventions. So if, you're interested and really want to know what can I do to learn more about this, or to schedule a consultation, I do telemedicine visits with people all over the planet. And so look at the link in our podcast here, and send us an email, sign up, and we'll sit down and talk, and kind of like we are right now, just look everything over and see what can be done to help you feel your best. And as I like to say, live better longer.